Okay, so we're going to take a look at a final example of the fair division. I've set this up in a way so that way I can very quickly edit. So I've actually used the Google spreadsheets. So fair division, we have five people who are bidding on five items. Don't know the scenario where this would be the case, but all right. So we have an Xbox One, a TI Inspire, TI Inspire, not Spider, an iPhone, PlayStation 4, and a laptop. And what I have here are the actual values, and that's going to come into play a little bit later in the discussion. So five players, just A, B, C, D, E, they go through, they make their bids. For the most part, these bids are fairly close to actual retail value. Um, Down below, I have who had the maximum bid. There's also a nifty color scheme that we have here that's going to help kind of determine what's going on. As so A has 355. As these numbers change, the colors themselves also change, and and that is a function of Google that you can actually utilize for um, when you're looking up data, and it's very helpful because I know based off of how I set up this sheet that the numbers in gray, those are my low bids, and so the numbers that I'm looking for are the ones that are the real brilliant red. So and I have down here a way of monitoring, who wins, just through some coding that that we've been able to use through Google. So say for instance, instead of 303, if I put 403, D now becomes the winner, and that's going to automatically update. And if you saw down here, there were numbers that changed because I have this spreadsheet set up this way. Calculating fair division, everybody's made their bids, and so now we start going in with the actual calculation. So first thing that you do is total up everybody's bid, and you see, player A believes that all of this stuff is worth $3,127. We move into the fair share, and by moving into the fair share, we take each of these values. Player D thinks everything overall is worth the most. Player B thinks that overall everything's worth the least, and we calculate the fair share. There are five players, so I take the total value and I divide it by 5. So I do that for everybody. Um, this is the fair share. This is what they believe each individual person should get. If all of this, say for instance, was broken up into cash, we then look at who won what and how much all of it is worth. So player B won the Xbox One at 300 value, that their belief value at $388. Player D won both the PS4 and the laptop at a total of almost $2,000, and so on. We calculate the net. We subtract the winnings from the fair share. So obviously here, players D and E should be in the negatives. They should owe money because they won more value than what they believe they should originally have gotten. Here's kind of the interesting point is players A and player C did not win anything. Neither one of them won anything, but their net value, how much money they are owed, is actually different because they believe that the overall prices total up to different amounts. And that is part of playing this game. How do you maximize on this? Well, that's part of what this video is about. So we're going to total all of these together, and I have yet to run into a condition where that total number is not negative. But now this is the money that's going to the bank, and so the bank has now received this money. That's why I'm multiplying it by -1, making it positive. because this is the money that the bank has to give back. They divide it amongst all 5 players. So dividing by 5, you get 31.84. You then add that back into the final, and so instead, player A, instead of getting $625.40, they actually end up with right around $657. And player D, instead of owing 1287, they end up owing only 1256. Still a lot that they have to owe, but they did get a laptop and a PS4. And this laptop, by the way, was an Alienware laptop that I priced, a very premium laptop, not just your regular run-of-the-mill laptop. So how do you maximize this? If I knew that I wasn't going to win anything, how do I maximize my winnings? I'm going to type 657 over here because this number is going to change. So are all the other. Actually, let me go ahead and just type all of this in manually. Negative 1256, negative 295. So let's assume for a second that I'm player A. I don't want the laptop. I do not want that laptop. I've got a nice one. It works. It's all I need. I don't need this big, expensive gaming laptop. If I were to win it, all I would do is sell it anyway. And that's actually probably the better thing to do. So if I bid 0, look at what's going to happen. I still didn't win anything. And now, because I was just saying, you know what, I don't want it, get rid of it, I don't care. I still didn't win anything, but my winnings, my monetary winnings, has gone from $657 down to $423. So I don't get anything. I get less money because I did not bid on that laptop, and I did not bid on that laptop fairly. So I actually ended up cheating myself out of potential money because I refused to bid. So you don't want to bid way too low on something, even if you don't want it. In that case, the better thing to do is go ahead and bid, and if it turns out you win it, sell it. At the same time, in the infamous battle between Xboxes and PlayStations, I tend to like an Xbox myself. It's just the one that I started off with. And so if I were to go after an Xbox One and I say, I'm going to beat these guys and I want to make sure that I beat these guys. So what do? You bid high, but you don't want to bid too high. Keep in mind right now that the actual value for the current brand new Xbox One is about $350. So already, technically, my bid would already be over what I could just go out into the store and buy. But let's say I really want this thing. It's going to be free. I'm inheriting this thing. And so I say, I think it is worth 600. Okay. So yay, I win the laptop. Congratulations. Yay me. Or sorry, not the laptop, the Xbox One. But look at what I have now. I still get $139. I still get $139, but the price of the laptop was about was 349. So if I add these together, I get like 498. 498. Let's see, what 349 plus 139, 488. Sorry. Okay, I get $488 worth of stuff. I get a $350 Xbox One, and I get about $140 in cash. Whereas by playing the game fairly, I would have gotten $657 in cash, where I could have bought a $350 laptop, leaving me with $300 in cash, $307 in fact. So I once again kind of shot myself in the foot because I bid way too high. So all of these you want to play fairly, try and get the final, to get the best possible outcome. And as long as everybody else does that, it's going to work for everybody. Someone else tries to cheat, it'll work to your advantage.